Welcome, everyone. We are live. It is a lovely day, is it not? Today's Wednesday. Oh, indeed, it is Wednesday, and it's lovely. Now, there's a scripture that says, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." You see, when we think of rest, I don't even know what we think of sometimes when we think of rest, but the kind of rest that the world offers, is it's tension at its best, relaxed tension at its best. But true rest comes when you are anchored. Like when you're anchored in the principles and you know that whatever you do, it will always work out because you are the operant power. You know that part. And so the true rest comes from knowing that, which means, do you worry more than you need to? No. We're human. We're always going to have some sense of, we're always going to have some sense of that. But when you're anchored in the principles, you don't fret about things. Is this going to work out? Is that going to happen? No. True rest is knowing that the all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. As above, so below, as within, so without. You know that everything is moving because nothing can stand still. And you know that it is always moving between two poles through a stage. You're always in a stage, moving towards your destination. You know this. And if you watch the way the stage moves, you'll be able to see the pattern, which will tell you where you're moving to and what your outcome is, which causes you to behave in a particular fashion to bring about the ideal effect. Oh, Lord, child, it's not time for you to be awake yet. And then you generate these thoughts and these ideas from the initial mood and mental attitude that you're in. And then you give birth to them. And you know that that is simply what always happens. So you don't have to fret, you don't have to worry, you don't have to panic about things. You see that? That is true rest. That's why scripture says, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden." You know what it means to be weary? Oh, God. To be weary. That's not even tired. That is beyond tired. It's not just physical tired, but mentally you are drained and just weary is the extreme of tired. Because tired is only physically in the body. You're yawning, you're falling asleep. That's tired. But weary? Weary is the mental aspect. Weary and heavy laden. What's got you all tied up this morning in knots? Fretting and worrying and not sure of how things will turn out. You see, the reason why that is happening and you feel that way is because you have forgotten to apply the principles. You see them unfolding in front of you every day. But because we don't practice, it's funny, us humans. We don't practice, but we sure do complain. And the thing is, if we would just put in at least 5 minutes to deliberately practice, do you know what happens to you? You get so excited, you continue to practice. Indeed. Like it's there. You make the decision to move in a particular direction. You're going to get help. You don't get help from magic. You get help from the fact that when you turn in the direction, meaning you have deliberately or unwittingly pointed yourself in the direction you want to go in, well, every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. And it just turns, and there you are, not having to fight or fret, right? So this is why it's so important that we practice being deliberate. You have to practice being deliberate, which means you are paying attention to what you're doing. You're not just doing. When you're locking the door, you make sure you know you're locking the door. You're not